In this video, we are going to look at the 19 rookie drivers you can choose at the beginning of your My Team career to see which one is actually the best. Obviously, everyone probably chose Lord Mahavir because why wouldn't you? He is the GOAT, but still, let's go and have a look. Right, let's start off with the obvious thing, ratings. The best overall is Nick de Vries at 66. And the worst with an overall of 45 is, well, I think everyone already knows who it's going to be. It is Lord Mahavir. The experience rating is next, and we have 3 drivers with the highest rating of 35. They are Aitken, Giotto and Delatraz. We then have 5 drivers with the lowest experience rating of 27, and they are Hubert, King, Boccolacci, Correa and Lord Mahavir Raghunathan. Moving on to Racecraft, Jordan King has the best rating of 66 and Boccolacci has the lowest with 48. Looking at the awareness ratings, de Vries has the highest with a rating of 80 and the lowest rating of 51 rightly goes to Mazepin, who seems to have no awareness of what acceptable behaviour is.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest assholes in the world too.
The last rating to look at is pace, and 2 drivers have the highest pace rating of 79 and they are King and Matsushita, and the lowest rating of 43 for pace goes to Raghunathan. Looking at contracts and how much each driver will cost you, Lord Mahavir actually wins something by being the cheapest, costing you only 750,000. Whilst Nick de Vries is the most expensive, costing you a cool 2 million. Now, if you have seen any of my other videos, you will know that the ratings Codemasters gives things doesn't necessarily paint the full picture. So this is where the testing will actually start. And to do this, I put all of the 19 rookies in the exact same car by answering Will Buxton's questions the same way. In fact, I actually answered the questions in a way that produced the worst possible car you could start with. If you're wondering how I know that, I made a video on how each answer in this interview with Will Buxton affects your starting car, so check that out if you haven't already. I also put the AI on 110% and did 100% race distance. That way I know when I sim the Grand Prix weekend, they will produce their best possible lap times. I did this for 2 races, one at Bahrain and one at Spain. And at these 2 races I took their qualifying time, the best race lap and their finishing position. Okay, so the driver that did the fastest time in qualifying at Bahrain was Matsushita with a 126.380. The slowest lap time was just under a second slower than that at 127.346 and was set by Raghunathan. In the race at Bahrain, the fastest lap time was a 130.156 set by Nick de Vries, and the slowest lap wasn't by Raghunathan, it was actually by Boschung with a 131.479. Heading to Spain, the fastest qualifying lap was a 116.230 by Matsushita, and the slowest qualifying lap was again Raghunathan, who did a 117.115. The fastest lap in Spain went to Jordan King, who did a 119.066, and the slowest lap was again by Lord Mahavir with a 120.075. Looking at the finishing positions in the race, at Bahrain the highest finish was an 18th place by Matsushita, with 7 drivers coming last, and they were Schumacher, Correa, Mazepin, Galeo, Seto Kamara, Boschung and Raghunathan. At Spain, the highest place finish was of 20th, and that went to 3 drivers in King, Aitken and Zhou, and 8 drivers ended up coming last, and they were Schumacher, Giotto, Correa, Mazepin, Galeo, Calderon, Boschung and Raghunathan. So using all of this data, I have given each driver a ranking and I've put them into order, or if you prefer, a jumbo rating. In 19th and some way off the pace is the GOAT himself, Mahavir Raghunathan. Also way off the pace, but still quite far in front of Lord Mahavir, is Ralph Beauchamp in 18th. 17th is Sean Galale. 16th is Tatiana Calderon. 15th is Sergio Setakamara. 14th is Juan Manuel Correa. 13th is Louis Delatraz. 12th is Nikita Mazepin, and rounding out the bottom half of the grid is Mick Schumacher in 11th. In 10th we have Dorian Boccolacci. 9th is Giuliano Alesi. In 8th is Jack Aitken. 7th is Nick de Vries. 6th is Callum Ilott. 5th is Antoine Hubert, and 4th is Jordan King. Top 3 now, and in 3rd place is Luca Giotto. In 2nd is Guan Yu Zhou, and that leaves the top spot to Nobuharu Matsushita. So as you can see, the ratings given don't necessarily give you the best driver, and as a result I wouldn't suggest Nick de Vries unless you're a massive fan of his, as he is the most expensive driver at 2 million and only came in 7th in the testing. Therefore, at 1.5 million, I would suggest to pick Nobuharu Matsushita, but if you don't want to pick him, pick Guan Yu Zhou, as he is also a great choice for that price. At the 1 million price range, I would have thought it would be Schumacher, as on paper he looks like a bit of a steal at 64 rated, but for some reason his rating doesn't seem to correlate with his performance. So instead I would recommend Giuliano Alesi at the 1 million range, and if you're really short for money, you can always have the GOAT for 750,000. Right, so let me know in the comments below, which driver did you pick to start your My Team career, and would you pick a different driver now? I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, then make sure you hit that like button, as it really helps us out. And if you want to see more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Alrighty then, that's going to wrap this one up. I've been Jumbo, and I'll see you in the next one.